Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to this live stream where we have a very, very amazing simultaneous exhibition with the one and only Vidit Gujrathi, the India number 3, world number 24, and a fantastic player, a fantastic person who's agreed to.
Just a
Hello, welcome
second.
everyone to
Oh, I
this
have.
live stream where we have a very, very amazing
Okay. I
simultaneous
had a browser on.
So everything is set. Vidit is going to play a simul with six young talents here. We have only five. I am not one of them. One of them has not joined the Zoom call. So give it up for Ilam Parthi here. Ilam Parthi, hi. Hello, welcome. Ilam
Hello, Sagar
Parthi,
sir.
one very strong youngster, is going to face with it here. Next up is Akshaya Monica. Hello, Akshaya. Akshaya Monica is
Hi, sir.
WFM, very, very strong player. What's your FIDE rating, Akshaya? 2029. And we have
2029.
Anjaneya Fatak here, who is from Maharashtra, also a very, very strong player. Anjaneya, what's your rating? 1769
1769.
is Anjaneya's rating. Next up is Arunava Bhattacharya. Bhattacharji. Hello, Arunava. What's your rating?
Hello, sir.
1857. Wow,
1857.
this is tough. And we have the youngster there. What's your name? Vishal. Vivan. Vivan, how old are you?
Vivansha,
8 years. Vivan,
8 years.
all the best to you. Do you have a rating?
Yes,
1161. And we
1161.
have one more participant here who's not on the call, Kartikeyan Jayaprakasam, who is 1860 rated. So it's a very strong simul with it. What are your thoughts with it? You're muted yourself.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see because generally
Yeah.
simuls are played over the board and it's online, and the time control usually is 25 minutes, and now it's 10 minutes. So it'll be
Okay.
interesting to see how it will go. No
Well,
idea.
it has taken up this tough challenge for two reasons. One is that he always loves challenges. He loves new challenges, always takes them up. Secondly, it's a noble cause. Make Your Move charity tournament was held, and over there, six winners were selected from six different events. Top two. So there were top two in under 14, under 19, and open category. And these, all of the six people get a chance to play with it. Later in the day, in the same stream, we will have Vishy Anand, who will be doing a Q&A with the same six people. But for now, let's get going. The time control is 10 minutes plus 5 seconds increment. On the left, you have the chessboard. With it, shall we begin? Guys, all of you, can you mute yourself on this so that there's no voice that comes in? Anjaneya, maybe you can mute yourself. And with it, shall we begin?
Yeah, I'll start.
Okay, let's go.
Sagaba, you'll mute on Zoom, right? Once
I
I
will
click on
mute
start.
myself on Zoom right away.
Okay, cool.
Okay, guys, here we go. With it is playing white on all the boards here. With it, maybe he can. I will ask with it to switch on the move by move mode, something. With it, you can switch on the move by move auto switch mode. Yes, now it's all set. He switched on the auto switch mode here. So that means the boards will switch automatically and there will be no issues. He's playing with my account here. So you can see Sagar Chess 1 is, well, it's a good thing for me. Vidit will win if on all the boards. That would be very nice. Okay. Where is the time? I don't see the time here. Time is on the right. Okay, got it. Guys, all set now, all set. Vidit is playing so quickly, so quickly. Look at his focus, guys. Look at his focus. And there we go. There we go. All set. Monica Akshaya has. Oh, Benko Gambit by Vivan. Vivan has played the Benko Gambit. And who is this? Anjaneya has played the. Playing Catalan. Vidit has played the Catalan against Anjaneya. Guys, is all okay? Let me know. I have not seen the live chat at all. I was so uh, fixated on fixing everything. Yeah. Karthik. Okay, let's go to this. Monica Akshaya's game is this slow defense where Vidit is thinking he goes knight to h4. Time will definitely be a factor, as Vidit said. He has to start moving faster because 6 boards, only 10 minutes. It's a very tough challenge, guys. He has taken up a quite a tough challenge. And Benko, he's played this g3 system. Pawn sacrifice in this game against Anjaneya. It's difficult to even commentate. Look at Vidit, how he's switching. Wow, amazing. Guys, please leave a like here, and also Vidit OP in the chat, guys. Such an amazing. They cannot hear me, guys. I have muted myself on Zoom, so they cannot hear me. I have on the next of me is Ilam Parthi, who is a very young talent. Anjaneya Fatak has played his bishop to e7. Vidit has a pawn down, but he has fantastic development. Thank you, Akshat Shenoy, for your super chat. Says appreciate all the hard work and enthusiasm. What a tough challenge Vidit has taken on. Well, he's taking a lot of time in the opening. I hope Vidit is able to manage his time well here. He's thinking, but I'm sure it's a new experience. He's thinking, what is the best and fastest way? And he's left that game. He's come to another game because he thinks that he has some winning opportunity or a very substantial edge. So he doesn't want to decide right away. He wants to take his time. Bishop goes back to c8. Vidit now plays his queen to c2. Okay. But every time Anjaneya's game comes up, Vidit is like, no, I don't want to play here. I'm going to first finish the other games. Knight d7. Thank you, Shubham Shah. Thank you so much. Guys, all of this event is being done for charity. There was an entry fee for all the players, which is going to be donated for charity. So, this is a very noble cause. But at the same time, a player like Vidit is always trying to, play aggressively, playing for a win. So, he is definitely completely involved in this. But he's thinking a lot. 6 down to 7 minutes. Come on with it. You need to speed up a bit. Yeah, man, the time control is so tough. I agree. I agree. Knight to a. He needs to finish couple of games. Come on with it. Come on. Can't be thinking so much. Knight a5. It's 1 versus 6. Vidit is playing against 6 players. He's a little bit confused in that game. What to do? He plays bishop d3. Why isn't he making his move here? Has he spotted some brilliancy? Knight a5, finally making his move. Now Vidit needs to speed up on all the boards. Go with it. Go, come on. Well, the reason why I'm supporting Vidit here is because he's the underdog here. It's a tough thing for him. It's not a tough one for his opponents. Bishop b4 looks not a great move to me because knight takes b7. Looks like a strong move. Or bishop b7. Oh, Vidit plays bishop to d2. Okay, takes rook a3. Rook c1. Okay, this game is with Ilam Parthi. Ilam Parthi has pushed his pawn to a4, knight a4. Thank you, Vishal. Thank you so much. I would say, guys, Vidit, support him in this because he has very little time. All the players tremendously talented. All the winners here, they have come after winning a strong event. So I, of course, have a very, very soft corner for these players. But today, it seems like it's going to be very, very tough for Vidit. Very tough. Even to take up this challenge is not easy. c6. Now Vidit thinking whether to sacrifice on c6. What is he thinking here? What is he thinking? e4. On the other boards, Vidit is now speeding up. He thinks that on the other boards he is better. I have a feeling somehow that Vidit is in some sort of trouble time wise, but I guess I may be proved wrong or I may be proved right. I don't know because he's down to 5 minutes on almost all the boards. Down to 5 minutes on almost all the boards. Oh, no one has played a move. Wow. This is the first time in this Simul that Vidit has played the moves on all the boards. And his opponents are thinking, wow. Wow, that's the first time. Guys, what do you think will be the score of Vidit in this match? This is such a tough one. This is such a tough one. Knight takes d4. f3. Yeah, knight goes back. Ilam Parthi has sacrificed a pawn. And in all the games, there is complications. In this game, Vidit has time under control. So rook d1, here he's down to 4 minutes. But this is the type of positions that Vidit likes. Bishop d2. Attacking the queen. Is he going to do that? Benko gambit in a Simul is always a very dangerous opening to face. That is true. That is true. Rook doubling on the d file. Come on with it. You need to move faster. b3. Defending that pawn. Rook d8. Queen to b3. Guys, all of this is for a good cause. All of this is for Make Your Move charity that has been organized by Roundtable India and other groups of people here joining in. Rook to d1. Maybe I'll be proved wrong about worrying about his time. Who knows? Who knows? Knight to d2. This is Arunava. Arunava, who's right there on our screen. Now Vidit is speeding up in all the games. Knight goes back to d7. Bishop c1. In which game, Vidit, if he gets an advantage in one of the games, he will go full on. I think he will go in. He will then make moves very quickly. Once again, we reach a situation where no one has played a move. So Vidit now back on track here. It seems. Guys, what do you think will be the score over here? This is very tense, very stressful. I'm unable to commentate very effectively because for me it's like, oh, Vidit is thinking about taking the pawn on c6. No, he takes on e5. This is Ilam Parthi here playing his knight to a6. By the way, the players will also face the time crunch after a point. But if all the 6 games are going and if Vidit is under time pressure, I don't think he'll be able to manage the time entirely. Oh, is this a piece blunder? Is this a piece? Vidit has got a free piece in one of the games. 6-0, 2-4, 3-3. This is not for the weak-hearted, I agree. I agree. This is very tense. Very tense. And guys, at the end of the Simul, you have to give it up for Vidit, because to be agreeable to do such a thing is not very easy. So much pressure. So much pressure. C4. PC. He takes the pawn. No one has made a move. Which board is with it under tremendous pressure? I don't know. Vivan, I think Vidit is going to manage because he's a piece up, but the youngster is such a young cutie, young little boy. Just, I think, 8 years old. Take on C4 against Monica also. I think he has a good position. Here. Has to make some tough decisions. Rook to D1. Anjaneya is a pawn up. I think Anjaneya's position looks very promising. He's pawn up, queens are off the board. Arunava has picked up another pawn. I guess not much compensation there for Vidit. Bishop A3. Rook to D1. Is he going to take on D5 now and then block on the dark squares? Sixth player is playing. Yes, he's playing, but he's not on the Zoom call. We have 6 players playing, but he's not on the Zoom call yet. Rook A3, queen to G4. Wow. Look at Vidit managing his time, not gone down below 4 minutes in any game, and here he is also up on time. Is he going to take on C5 or is he planning to go knight E4? Oh, he plays his knight to E4. That looks like a worrying game for me for Vidit, it seems. Here he's down to 4 minutes against Anjaneya. He's like, Vidit has played this Catalan so interestingly in all the games. Bishop F4. Ryder in the chat. Thank you, Ryder. Ryder, this is really tough, yeah, for the viewers as well. I think all the viewers are also very tensed out. Oh, look at this. Ilam Parthi's game has also heated up. Queen takes bishop to G5, attacks the rook. Can Vidit do it? Time is definitely a concern, but also positions are... Here he has a nice grip, I would say. Just his kind of position. But such positions, you need time to think. There's so much happening. Now you go knight d5. What about c6? Has Vidit calculated all the possibilities? And in a classical game, you may go knight d5. He's taken the rook on d8. There, e4. Oh, bishop f5. And now g4 is what Vidit is thinking. Wow. Against Ilam Parthi. Is he going to win a piece here? This might be, because Ilam Parthi is of course very strong. Knight c5. Queen to e3. Now the king moves to f2. Knight f7 wins the queen. So that game seems to be in control. Queen takes b6. Rook to b2. Even this game now starts to look really nice for Vidit. Rook d8. So if one game gets over, that would be nice. And here, can Vidit pick up the pawn on c5? I think so, he can. But this looks dangerous. Arunava 5, I think, has a great position here. Karthik Jayaprakasan, who is not on the call here. Rook to b3. Takes. And take on f5 against Ilam Parthi. Maybe 2 pieces for a rook situation has come up. Rook takes on d1 or queen takes on knight takes. So many possibilities. He takes with the knight. He takes with the knight. Rook d8. d6. Oh, this is a nice tactic. Very nice. Vidit spots it, and this is game over, guys. Mate in 1 coming up there. Mate in 1. That would be 1 point for Vidit. Well played, little Vivan. Little Vivan has played well. Well played, Vivan. Good try. Rook A to C1. Even if Vidit can reach somewhere, the 50% mark could also be cool. Oh, this against Akshaya Monica, he has a great position with the pawn reaching d6. But I think in Arunava is where he's struggling. But look at this, guys. Actually, Vidit is now racing ahead on time in many of the boards. World class play. World class play. All I can say is that let's hope that he's able to maintain this time edge. Bishop f1. And now knight jumps to e4 perhaps. Queen takes c4. Ooh, knight c3. What a move. I think Vidit is definitely in trouble here. Definitely in big, big trouble. b4 is coming up. Material is even. This game is lost. If he can save this, would be a huge save. But I don't think so. Here against Ilam Parthi, I think Vidit could be slightly better here for sure. He has 2 pieces for a rook. Looks convincing, but Rook b5, nice move. Rook b5 was a very nice move by the opponent. Anjaneya Fatak. Bishop to d3 is what Vidit has played. Here he needs to break through somehow. Black has this nice fortress, white has space, but Vidit has to break through. Yeah. And you know, guys, you have to be mentally very strong as well. Because if you are not mentally strong, if you are worse on one board, it can affect your other boards in the Simul. So here bishop b7, and Vidit has to be careful because e5 pawn may start to hang. Here. What to do now? Knight f6 check is what he's done. Knight to d5. Guys, 6-0 is just very difficult here. 6-0. I would be very happy if Vidit makes it 3-3. He's 1-0 up already. But time-wise also, time is also a factor. Could work for Vidit as well. Who knows? Who knows? No one has king f8 is played. Vidit has to go faster. Vidit has to move faster because... Oh, he's sacked on e4. What's this? Wow, what a tactic. What a tactic. But maybe not great because he gets 2 pieces and a rook. He gets 2 pieces and a rook. And here, this is the tough board. I guess Vidit can take a practical choice and maybe resign there, or is he going to fight? Is he going to fight there? Queen goes to d2. Ooh, the d6 pawn is weak. Oh, he took back on g4. He didn't take the queen. That means that Vidit is just completely better. Oh, e4 coming in. Maybe Vidit getting some chances in this game as well. e4, knight moves, bishop takes c3 would be hanging. Oh, rook takes a4. I think Vidit has to take on a4. Oh, knight c3 check coming up. Maybe... here things are under control in this game now. Because now Vidit is 2 pieces up. Yeah, if I count it right. Counted it right. King e3. Knight e5 is coming in. Score is 1-0, guys, in Vidit's favor. 5 games going on. 5 games still in progress. Score is 1-0 in Vidit's favor. E takes f6 and now take that guy on c3. That's what Vidit can do. Will he win on time on some boards? That would be epic, yeah? Playing 6 people and winning on time would be crazy. Arunava plays e5. Vidit now gets chance on this, but I was thinking he should be thinking of some resign on that board or something of that sort. Queen e4 by Monica. Oh man. Man, what's going on? What's going on? Bishop c3. There is chance. There is hope in this game. Rook b1 is a threat. Rook b1 is a threat. Thank God. Oh, that was a nasty threat. That was a nasty threat by Ilam Parthi. Because if he played e3, rook to b1 check would have been... And so many complications with it, has to navigate them. All of them. He has to navigate the complications on all the boards. Look at the players. Also slightly stressed out here. Rook takes c3. He's got back the pawn there. Here he's a pawn down, but somehow his piece is still dominant. A draw might be a good result here, or maybe Vidit can show some of his endgame skills. Bishop to f1. That means the c4 pawn will go, I guess, with it fighting back on all the boards. Queen to g3. Oh. Man, clock simul online. Not easy. Bishop takes d4. Black is putting pressure. Ilam Parthi is putting pressure on Vidit. So many tacticals. And now here Bishop takes c4. Vidit from being pawn down, 2 pawns down, is now I think a pawn up in that game. What a turnaround. King c3 here. Anjaneya thinking hard. Anjaneya has a time edge. Oh, he's made a pre-move. If you take the bishop, I'm going to take it with my king. I guess Vidit is better here. What a fight already by all the players, guys. Give it OP to all the 6 participants. I think these are the young talents. They have fought so hard in the tournament and come here. And now against Vidit. Oh, Vidit has now piece up against Ilam Parthi here. Can he score the win here? Definitely his position looks much superior. Monica is down to 19 seconds. Oh my god, Monica has just 19 seconds on the clock. She's a very strong player, guys. She's one of bright talents of Indian chess. Guys, do like this stream. Do make sure that it reaches more people. And this is one of India's finest players fighting it out against some young talents and giving it his best in a clock simul. He played 6 people. He's leading 1-0. 5 games are going on. Knight is moving to g4. Bishop a3. Wow. Interesting move. And people are not exchanging their pieces. What is this endgame now? Vidit has, I think, recovered the pawn in Anjaneya's game. And maybe he has a chance. Bishop to b5. Black king is weak. White is a pawn up. Ilam Parthi. Oh, knight e4. Maybe missed by Ilam Parthi. This gives Vidit a chance to win. I think, sort of exchange the queens. Bishop takes d6 here. Should he take it? Oh, he takes it. And now king takes a3. He takes and he has an outside passer. So maybe advantage on that board as well. Perhaps we are looking at a good score for Vidit now. Time is running low, but he is moving fast, guys. There's 5-second increment after every move. So Vidit can manage. But if you have to play on 5 boards, that might be a bit too much. As of now, he is managing his time admirably. He's managing his time superbly. It's 2-0 already? Really? Oh, one game is already over. I think someone resigned. I didn't get it. Okay, who was it who resigned? Maybe it was... I'm not so sure who has resigned. I think Karthik, yeah? So it's 2-0 in Vidit's favor. Oh, and he's taken on d5. What if he makes it 6-0? That would be insane. That would be unbelievable. Queen takes on d5. Rook a4. To d1. Moving to the business end of this simul now. It's all about managing your time, your nerves. But look at Vidit's time management. He's not running low on time on any of the boards. He's already played brilliantly. And now he doesn't want his opponent to go e5. He's thinking how best to control. Time. Oh my god. Time is going to be a problem because e5, e4. Oh, he's maybe found some tactics with knight d7. Nice. Bishop to d5. Bishop moves back to d3. There's an outside passer there. Oh, knight b2. But Vidit attacks the opponent's rook. He's like, you fork me, I'm going to attack your rook. This game, 23 seconds, 24. Time is going to be critical here. Knight to e5. Takes. Oh, he's just looking at the moves and he's making them. He's looking there and making the moves. Rook e8. Should he push the pawn? Oh, endgames are the toughest, guys. Endgames are the toughest. What to do, what not to do? That is the question. Knight c6. Where should he go? Knight to d3, but now e5 may be incoming. Rook to f3. Wow, he's trying to checkmate on the board. Yes, knight b4. He's looked at knight d5 check could come in. Yes, he gives a check here. Learning so much from Vidit here. I mean, as a chess player, for me, this is insane. This is insane. Now he's low on time. He's low on time on all the boards. It could be possible that he has to get some results on some board, or else he may be in trouble. He needs to move faster. He can't make four moves in 5 seconds, on 4 different boards. Oh, then he's made. No one has played a move. Yeah, rook 8. Rook takes a3 spot. Look at the speed, guys. This is one of the best exhibitions I have ever seen. Such challenging. And even in that bishop endgame, instead of taking a draw, he's fighting for a win. Go with it. Make moves quickly, because on other boards, you never know. If you are running low on time, you never know what's going on. So you need to, otherwise you may lose on time on some of the boards. This guy, Ilam Parthi, is not giving up. He is like, I'm going to fight till the end, till the bitter end. A6 pawn push. And once again, Vidit has the opponents have the move on all the boards. Have games completed. Have some of the games completed. King h1. Oh, so many games over. 4 wins for Vidit already. 4 wins. Unbelievable. Only 2 games going on. Look at his concentration, guys. Black Lotus is doing the trick, yeah? Bishop f1, he keeps that pawn as well. He's like, I'll take that g6 pawn for free. Bishop e8. 2 games, manageable now with 10 seconds on the clock. a7. a7. Oh, this is a winning pawn endgame. He's won it. Bishop takes c6. Bishop takes c6 and queen. Wow. Wow. Okay, now he has to manage this time. I think this could result in a 6-0. He's already 4 wins. Guys, 4 wins. He scored them. And these are all very strong players. They've won in the tournament, yeah? They have won the first place or the runner-up in the tournament and come here. Oh, now, this might end in a draw. This might end in a draw now. Or maybe Ilam Parthi may snatch through a win here. But I think Vidit was better there. Rook to g1, threatening bishop takes c4. Anjaneya, can you mute yourself? Oh, Anjaneya cannot hear me. Rook f1. g5. This opposite color. A draw would be good here. 5 wins for Vidit. So 5-0 score, guy. 5-0. Just the last game going. 30 seconds. I think now Vidit can draw this. Yes. And he's played Rook h1. 5.5. Whoa, what a simul. What a simul we have had, guys. What a simul. I'm going to unmute myself. Guys, what a simul we have had. Unbelievable. Vidit, you scored 5.5 points out of 6.
Yeah, the last one, I almost, yeah, if I had like a little bit more time, I could have converted. But yeah, it was a good match.
It was insane. I thought, Vidit, you were going to lose 6-0 with so less time on the clock at the start.
Yeah, time was really a problem. I had like 5 or 6 minutes against 10 in almost all the games. So time was definitely the biggest factor.
Yeah, but then how did you speed up? In fact, on some boards, you even moved ahead on time.
Yeah, I mean, I got the flow once I started playing. Like, I got the rhythm, yeah. Initially, it was a bit tough, but yeah, then I got the rhythm.
I have to ask you, in the game against Anjaneya Phatak, you thought for so much time for that knight a5 move. What were you thinking? Like 4 minutes, you are not making your move.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'm pawn down, yeah. And if I don't play correctly there, I might just lose, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just a pawn down and I need to find compensation. So I thought that was critical moment and I did not remember. That's the problem with Simul. Like, in one board you cannot spend so much time. So I think my opponents, they played like very good opening
Very good.
choices.
Everyone, guys, all of
Everyone
you,
complicated.
all of you, no one gave him a simple opening. Even Vivan, who is this 8-year-old, played Benko Gambit. He was like, I'm going to play Benko with it. I think also Arunava was completely better. Yeah, Arunava with those 2-3 extra pawns on the queen side, A, B, and C pawns. Or was that not the case with it?
Yeah. I mean, there are so many pawns, and at some point, when he played f6 move,
Yes.
he could have just defended the bishop maybe, or played something else there. And he must be better. Yeah, but I have like zero time to even like
Even to
assess the
evaluate.
position. Yeah,
And
I just have to play whatever comes on the board.
how about Akshaya? Because you got your pawn to d6 and e5 in that game, and it seemed like you had
Oh
an
yes,
advantage, but she complicated the game so much that you were in, like, you had to be careful.
yes. Because there is queen g2 mate threats all the
Yes,
time.
very interesting.
So I thought the safest move is to play bishop f1. I lost a pawn there also.
Yeah.
But luckily I had this bishop a3 trick in the end, and I took the rook. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, and Ilam Parthi did not give up right till the very end.
Oh, this was Ilampati. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
chess. I think you were a piece up there, but he was like all the time playing e5, pushing his pawns.
Yeah. I wish I had a little bit more time to consolidate. Maybe I should just exchange rooks, and then maybe, I don't know. It was complicated. But then in the end, I didn't want to get checkmated. There was like rook g3 checkmate
Yeah.
ideas. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, let me just make a draw now.
And Ilam Parthi was the only one who could make a draw. Congrats, Ilam Parthi. And guys, how was
Thank you.
your experience to play? Monica, did you enjoy playing? You need to unmute. You need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I enjoyed the Simul and it was great. This experience was very great.
Very nice. Very nice. What about Anjaneya? Did you like it?
Actually, Vidit sir, instead of rook c1, you should have played bishop c6 check. That is the main line there.
Okay. King e7.
Then you just keep the tension double. There.
Rook c1. Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't remember the opening line. Like, I don't know if knight a5 is the move there.
No,
I thought-
knight f5 is correct.
Okay.
Bishop d2, rook, everything is correct. Just
Oh.
bishop c6 is more critical.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I didn't analyze rook c1.
Okay. I saw bishop c6, king e7, but yeah, then you have no threat, so I can just play
yes.
rook c1. Yeah, Sakuch.
Yes,
But-
then black has to play something like g5, h5, and continue.
Okay. Could be. Yes.
Yeah. Well, that was end game was crazy with it. How you turned the bishop around and around. I thought it's going to be very tough, but you managed to.
Which end game?
Yeah,
Oh,
again,
yeah,
same
yeah,
end
yeah.
game, same game.
Oh yeah.
Just moving the bishop around. What about Arunawa? Did you enjoy?
Yeah, I enjoyed very much.
Okay, fantastic. And well played. And Vivan, the youngest of all. Vivan, how was it?
Nice.
Nice. Did you learn something?
Yes.
What?
I was just spectating one side. If I would see when knight is hanging, I wouldn't choose.
Oh, you forgot that knight was hanging on g4.
Oh yes.
Never mind. You put pressure on Vidit in the opening, so well done. All of you guys. You and Ilam Parthi, how was your game? Did you enjoy?
Yes, I enjoyed it, but I confused some line with A4. Then the end game was very risky.
Yeah, endgame was very risky. I knew that you were putting tricks. Like at one point, Vidit was going to make the move E3,
Yeah.
and I was like, Vidit, rook
Rook
B1,
b1
and
check.
you lose
Rook
the
Oh,
b1
queen.
yeah.
check. Yes.
And then rook c1 came. So all of you guys, well done, well played. You guys can join in that other Zoom call which was there, where you will get to ask one question each to Vishy Anand. So if you can do that, that would be great. And I will be also joining in there shortly with it. What a tremendous performance. I mean, I seriously was very nervous at some point. I thought, what have you got into if it is 6-0? But
Yes.
I was very,
Yes.
very worried.
Actually, to be honest, initially I was super frustrated. Like,
You
I
were
was-
like, why am I playing this Simul? All strong
Yeah.
players. I could have enjoyed myself.
Exactly, and like the time, like there's no time, like there's a handicap on time as well, like 5 minutes against 10 हो गया था एक point पे.
Yeah.
तो उसमें इतना मतलब frustration आ गया था. Luckily like 1-1 position got sorted,
Yeah.
and that gave me confidence.
True.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, guys, see you. Just you can leave the Zoom call now and join in the other Zoom call. Yeah.
Me too, Sagar, or should I say?
Yeah, I'll just say a final bye. Just tell you
Sure.
what the chat is saying.
Sure.
If every
Sure.
Ilam
Sure,
Party,
sure.
you can leave the call.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yes.
Should I stop sharing?
Yep. Man, all the chat was like worried at some point. What's going to happen?
I was worried. I was so frustrated. Like सागर भाई 10 मिनट क्यों दिया मुझे? क्या दुश्मनी है? मैं बेवफा नहीं हूँ. मुझे क्यों 10 मिनट दिया?
भाई मैं सवाल पूछ सकता हूँ क्या?
हाँ, पूछो. This is Niklesh Jain, by the way, Hindi ChessBase India here, who cannot be seen, but his voice is always there. Yes, Niklesh.
तो विदित भाई, मेरा सवाल ये है कि ये बताओ आप कि एक साथ 6 बोर्ड कैसे मैनेज, मेरे को तो डर लग रहा था यार लास्ट में, वो वहां पे 10 सेकंड बचे, दूसरी जगह 10 सेकंड बचे, कैसे मैनेज कर रहे थे यार?
मुझे तो लगा कि एक पॉइंट पे मेरा एक गेम खत्म हो गया. मुझे लगा मैं हार गया टाइम पे. मुझे पता नहीं था रिजल्ट क्या हो. मुझे लगा टाइम पे ही हार गया मैं. और एक बोर्ड पे मैं तो सिर्फ मूव कर रहा था कि टाइम बढ़ जाए 5-5 सेकंड करके. पर वो बोर्ड पे पहुंचने को ही 5 सेकंड चले जाए.
वही तो. It was like you had 4 boards sometimes and 5 seconds. But I used to feel so good when it was their move on all the boards. I was like, that happened 2-3 times. कि उनका मूव है.
हाँ. अरे भाई मतलब ये साइमल काफी स्ट्रेसफुल होता है. बट in the end it was also enjoyable, I must say. Like पोजीशंस तो ऐसे वाट लग गई थी कुछ.
एक में तो आप 2 पॉइंट डाउन चल रहे थे जब तक उसने F6 नहीं किया था.
हाँ. मैं लगा गया, मतलब एक में अगर स्टार्ट में एक गेम हार जाता ना तो देयर इज अ चांस मैं टिल्ट पे भी जा सकता था. सो माय स्ट्रेटजी वाज कि थोड़ा डिले करो, थोड़ा प्रेशर डालो, एंड टाइम पे भी फास्ट खेलने लग गया तो उनपे भी प्रेशर आ गया.
और इलम पार्थी वाला तो गजब ही हुआ, वो तो आप पीस अप चल रहे थे.
मतलब पीस अप चल, बाद में मेट होने को आया था, मुझे फिर पीस देना पड़ा लास्ट में.
नहीं वो अच्छा, वो लास्ट में रुक एक्सचेंज हो गया, वो सब बच गया वहां पे.
हाँ बच गया. ओके.
तो चलिए ठीक है, बहुत बहुत अच्छा. विदित एक्चुअली पता क्या होता है, आपके साथ कमेंट्री, आपके गेम में कमेंट्री करने में हम लोग का हार्ट बीट बढ़ जाता है. अभी अगर कुछ ऐसा होता है तो हमें लगता है अभी क्या होने वाला. जब उस दिन वो डेनियल डुबो वाला मैच चल रहा था, डुबो और हेंडरकिन वाला, वो हिंदी पे भी मैं कम कर रहे थे, सागर भाई इंग्लिश में कर रहे थे. तो एक जो है ना, वो अलग ही फीलिंग जुड़ गया अभी आपके साथ. जब आप मैच खेलते तो हमको वैसा वाला फीलिंग आता है. जब वो सचिन एक चौका मारता है तो हमको लगता था यार अभी दूसरा मत मारो यार, थोड़ा रुक जाओ.
अरे थैंक यू निकलेश भाई, आप तो बहुत स्वीट हो.
तो बहुत चलो इस तरह ही सही हिंदी चेस बेस इंडिया में आए तो.
बाय द वे विशाल भंडारी जी कह रहे हैं, सॉरी लक्ष्मीपति राजू कह रहे हैं ऑनवर्ड टू टॉप 10 एंड इवेंचुअली फर्स्ट. वीडी ऑसम. आशुतोष मित्रा कह रहे हैं वीडी इक्वल्स गॉड. केजीएन शर्मा, थैंक यू सो मच. अभी गोयल से विदी भाई इतनी बेइज्जती कभी महसूस नहीं किया. अरे गाइस
क्या?
अरे तुम इतना अच्छा खेले कि ऐसा लगा कि यार हम क्या चेस प्लेयर है, समथिंग लाइक दैट. मे बी दैट्स व्हाट
अच्छा. ओके.
But anyway, I think you played amazing chess. Vidit, thank you so much for joining in. And I will be at 5:30, guys. We will have Vishy Anand joining in on
दूसरा stream में क्या?
No, it will be this same stream. I'll be here, but will be another Zoom call. So we'll be going on that. It's actually by Him Shikhar Foundation, and it will happen on that.
10 मिनट क्या करोगे?
I will put up.
गाना बजाओगे?
नहीं ये सर, not the right stream.
नहीं अभी आपके गेम देखेंगे विदित यार. और
12 मिनट. ठीक है चलो. Thank you Sagar bhai, thank you Niklesh bhai,
thank you
chat.
Thanks all, and VDOP in the chat guys. VDOP
दोस्तों, VDOP हो जाए चैट पे. सही बात है.
मैं लीव कर दूं?
Yes bhai, yes. हाँ, see you.
Okay.
Niklesh, there is another link I have sent you for the Zoom.
Yeah, मैं join करता हूँ.
उधर we should join. Okay.
Yes. Thank you Sagar bhai, thank you.
Guys, this was the Simul for make your move charity, and I will it was a very very intense event. It was a fundraiser event that was held, and ChessBase India has organized it in collaboration with Roundtable India, Ladies Circle India, uh, and they were powered by LP Savani Group, Manjula Khetan, Hartech, Vikaji, Euromed, Hema Foundation, and all of the money collected will be going in to a charitable purpose of building up a school. Vidit took on this very, very tough challenge of playing against 6 players, and he managed to score 5.5 points. Unbelievable. I cannot believe that he played so well. Guys, this leak doesn't make any sense. So this is not the Zoom link that we are going to be on for the next one. So don't worry about it. And that will be the other link which will be sent. And in that we will have Vishy Anand, we will have other personalities from the Hemshikar Foundation. There'll be Q&A. So please stay back for that. And we will have we will be joining that call shortly. But kaisa laga, guys? How did you find it? How did you find this entire thing? For me, it was really nerve-wracking. I felt it was one of the most craziest streams that I was commentating on. All of the kids played so well, so well. I'm sorry if I think Karthikeyan joined in the call a little too late, and at that point we had already begun. Otherwise, he would have also been in the call. He played well, but yeah. Pratik Das says, Mera first super chat missed. Nishita Bangal, thank you. Arey, how did I miss? I'm very sorry, Pratik Das. Pratik Das. Pratik, kahan hai? There is no super chat from you. I don't see it. I don't see it. Yeah. Prathamesh Polsani, it was so tense, too stressful. These guys are FIDE rated and have titles, also less time control. Boards bahut the, alag hi baat hoti hai. Pace was very good. Oh man. Heart attack aane wala tha, says Pradeep Pawar. Amazing. Okay, guys, please stay tuned. And I'm going to go to the next Zoom call. Sumit Kumar, the idea is yes to commentate today. Let's see on Nihal's games late in the night. It's at 10:30, if I am not mistaken. Oh, Frederick is in the chat. Frederick, hello, Frederick. Isn't the Giri portrait today? Yes, Frederick, at 7 o'clock.
He is not yet joined.
नहीं हुए.
I will call him.
Guys, this is the Zoom meeting we have. Frederick, today is Anish Giri's stream. You are not, but it will be at 7 o'clock after this ends immediately. And this is where it will be held. So you can see all the people joining in. Vishy is yet to come. Let me see if which view is better, guys. Speaker view is like this, but for now we will keep gallery view. Later on we will convert it into speaker view. Right now everyone is muted on the call. You can see me. There are two Sagars on the stream. This is where Anand will join in.
Yeah, Sahil Jindal.
I lost in Make Your Moves finals yesterday where Ilam Parthi had 8.5 by par 9. My compensation, I feel, is one mention to
Okay,
Vishy
Natik.
sir about Bologan. Are Pratik Das. We will get once Vishy sir on the stream and hopefully we'll be able to do that. Rohit Parikh gives a good idea. Frederick sir, we have Anish evolution
Sahil
today.
Jindal
If
ji,
we can have you
you are
amongst us for a
cool.
few
Sir,
minutes,
please check.
that would be nice.
Sahil Jindal is entering. Sahil Jindal is
Very
entering.
good idea.
Yes, he is entered.
Okay, how do I mute
Yeah.
this?
And he's a co-host.
Yeah. So he'll be.
Yes, I have left computer audio, so now everything is. I don't hear it for now. And I think, yeah, if Frederick joins in during evaluation of Kiri, would be very nice. I'm going to be asking Frederick to join in later today. Anish Giri's evolution stream is going to be epic, guys. It's at 7 o'clock in 1.5 hours from now. But for 1 hour, we will be having this stream where Vishy Anand will be interviewed by Sumit Kabra. You can see Sumit there. Let me see. He's already started to talk. Let me unmute.
उनको एडमिट करना.
But I believe Sumit is muted. So I don't know how. Where is he speaking? Maybe on some other forum. Okay, guys.
Desai has joined.
Yeah, she has joined.
Guys, all those who are joining in now, the result of Vidit Simul was 5.5. That was unbelievable. Amazing Simul.
ये आकाश खेतान जी अभी ज्वाइन नहीं हुए उसमें जी.
हाँ मैं बोलता हूँ.
हाँ बोलिए सर, बोलिए कि रूम अभी फुल होने वाला है.
Okay, I will.
Can we hold like that or कैसे कर सकते हैं?
नहीं जो आपने.
Well, they are figuring out the details here. Meanwhile, I'm here. Let me make this a little better. Yeah, like, let me go here. I guess I don't need to be there on two fronts. Yeah, I can hide myself. Yeah, like this. And you can see me here. It also looks pretty good. But for now, till the show doesn't begin, I'll stay here, so that you can see me as the host. Oh, super chat missed, guys. Sorry. Too many things happening right now. Let me just check. What was the super chat? Drapion111. Sagar, could you please organize a stream after COB3 of getting Nihal Prag, Arjun Erigasi to face Vidit or some analysis of future versus present? Drapion, stay tuned. We are coming up with something. I'll let you know. Sumit Kumar, yes, tonight at 10:30, we will be thinking of commentating on Nihal's games. That would happen.
आकाश खेतान को अंदर लेना. आकाश खेतान.
हाँ.
Okay, now I can unmute myself here on this stream, but I'll wait for a bit before that happens.
नैतिक स्क्रॉल करके चेक करो, टाइप करके मत चेक करना।
या आकाश खेतान जी अंदर है।
हाँ, एक सेकंड।
Arvind, please go FB page live.
There are many people who are already in the call who are here in the chat as well. Fantastic, fantastic. Very nice to know. "5:30 is when it was scheduled to begin, guys. I hope it starts on
सर
time.
आपने वो कंफर्म कर लिया ना सागर शाह जी का?
Yeah, Sagar.
हाँ, मैं यहाँ पर हूँ. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Sagar Shah, yes,
Yeah, hi,
perfect,
Sumit.
good. Yeah.
I'm here.
Hi,
सर
Sagar.
आपको
Thank you.
सर आप को होस्ट हो, आप एक बार चेक कर लो। हाँ, सब प्रॉपर है ना?
Yeah, he's able to speak.
Yeah,
he's able to
everything
speak.
is good. And there are also 6 participants here who were going to ask question to Anand. So they are also in the room.
Perfect. Thank you, Sagar bhai, for joining
Yeah,
us.
my pleasure. Okay.
Arvind, if Arunaji and Vishy sir is joined, please. Arunaji and Vishy sir is joined. Please let me know. We can start the program. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining in at the right time. Already we have crossed 713 people. It's going to be a very, very great event. I'm sure today is going to be great learning. Yes, we are going to listen Grandmaster Vishwanath Anand sir. We are just waiting for him to get entry. Yeah, Vishy sir is there.
Vishy sir is there.
Yes, sir. Welcome, sir. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Tabler Sumit Kabra, presenting Roundtable India and Ladies Circle in association with HEMA Foundation, Ekal Yuva, IDF, ABMYS, Rotary, and many other NGOs. It's our privilege to have with us the India's first Grand Master and 5-time world champion. Yes, Padma Shri and Padma Vibhushan Vishwanath Anand. Yes, before moving ahead, we go for invitation for Deep Prajalan. Sir, please Deep Prajalan Kilibadi. Welcome, sir.
Hello, how are you?
Sir, all well, sir.
Sir.
Starting with Deep Prajalan. Yes, sir. Thank Thank you, Arvind. Today we are proud to have a respected dignitaries with us. Starting with, I would like to introduce Sri Rameshwar Lalji Kabra, Chairman, HEMA Foundation. Patni Devi Kabra. Next, Mahendra Ji Kabra, Managing Trustee, HEMA Foundation. Sri Anita Ji Maheshwari, Trustee and Creative Director, HEMA Foundation.
सभी को नमस्कार.
Dr. Nagpal Singh, Academic Director, HEMA Foundation.
Namaskar. Welcome everybody.
Dr. Narayan Iyer, CEO, IDF.
Namaskar to everyone. Namaskaram, Grandmaster.
Sahil Jindal, IRO Roundtable.
Thank you.
Mr. Sachin Shah, National Secretary, Roundtable. Mr. Rajkumar Kalia. Mr. Rajkumar Ji Kalia, President ABMYS. Mr. Ishwari, Secretary ABMYS. Mr. Rupesh Soni, Vice President ABMYS. Mr. Vikas Agarwal, Roundtable Area 3 Chairman. Ashok Ji Motwani, founder Diaspora Times.
Hello, Anand.
And Mr. Ruma Desai, Rotary Club. Thanks, everyone. I would request here Ashok Ji Motwani to say a few words on behalf of Hima Foundation for Vishy.
Hello, Anand. As you are already aware that we were interested with popularizing chess among girl child and women, and the support came in from the RR group and especially Mr. Kabra himself. And we did the national championship at Keshav Srishti, which I'm very happy to tell you that you have been planning to visit it. Now we are looking forward that at least next year you will have some time and you can do your training and other things. It's a beautiful complex which has been appreciated by all your colleagues. And also we are happy to tell you that your colleague in the she was our chief guest for the annual sports day, and other people have also visited it. Now we do have plans to shift something like a world championship into Keshav Srishti, or at least in India. That has never happened before, and we'll be approaching you for your guidance and support. And my journey started with you people long back. I was the organizing secretary for National Championship and Premier Championship, and now we are looking at the World Championship, if possible, even at our own place in Keshav Srishti or any other place of your choice. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Ashok Ji, for your kind words for Grandmaster. I would like to hereby hand over the baton to Mr. Mukund Khaitan, tabler, Surat. Mukund Khaitan. Mukund, you're on mute. Mukund, you're on mute.
Thank you, Sumit Bhai. Good evening, friends. This is Mukund Khaitan, Chairman of Surat United Roundtable 265. It's a pleasure to present before you Make Your Move, a virtual chess blitz tournament. All the proceeds from the event and from our sponsors would be utilized in building school infrastructure for the underprivileged children. This event would not have been possible if we not got support from our sponsors. To begin with, we would like to thank LP Savani Group of Schools, our powered sponsors, for the immense support, and our co-sponsors Bikaji, Euromed, Manjula Khaitan Fine Jewels, and Hartek. We are happy to give special credits to Mr. Sagar Shah of ChessBase India for their support to conduct the chess tournament smoothly on their platform. Tabler Vishal Sardosh of Factions for his creative designs for the event initial video clips. Mr. Dhaval Kalsaria of Geeks Lab Studios for the teaser videos. Mr. Kunal Chauhan of Nine Islands for the flyers and creatives. Surat District Chess Association for the technical support in this event. And tabler Sumit Kabra of Hemshikar for providing his platform for this event. I would request to play the sponsors video.
Happy Diwali, Amit ji.
Happy Diwali, Amit ji.
Happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali.
आप ये मिठाई गाड़ी में ही भूल आए।
हैप्पी दिवाली, हैप्पी दिवाली, हैप्पी दिवाली, हैप्पी दिवाली, हैप्पी दिवाली भाई साहब। हैप्पी दिवाली, हैप्पी दिवाली।
With immense pride, I wish to inform you all that Hate Group has been named as a great place to work in. Believe me, last 30 years of my career, this has been one of the greatest moments of my life. I feel so immensely proud of my team. It's just the beginning for us to take the company into new heights. What motivates me the most is when I see young leaders within Hate becoming leaders and building a team of their own, and together they all work as a family. It is in this belief which I have always, carried this company forward, creating a platform for the young professionals to come forward, live their dreams, and take the company forward. I thank all my, people who were with me in last 30 years, who supported her take for a cause and believing in me and the present team. Without them, this would never have been possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I now invite tabler Sahil Jindal, IRO Roundtable India, to say a few words. Sahil Jindal has been a passionate tabler since 10 years and he hails from the city of New Delhi. Sahil Jindal, please take on from here.
Thank you, Mukund. Good evening, friends. Greetings. I get my greetings from Roundtable India. So I will just put it on a brief note what Roundtable is, so that nobody gets bored here. So guys, about Roundtable India is an international organization that came into India in 1962. Since then, we have been growing. So currently, Roundtable India is present in 125 cities, and we have over 300 active clubs around these cities, and about 4,800 tablers around the country. So the main motive of Roundtable India is to provide the infrastructure for education. So our primary is flagship thing is freedom through education. So we are building schools, and we have a lot of partners to it. So we've built around 7,000 classrooms, more than 3,000 schools in last 20 years, valuing more than 300 crores. And on an average, if you see, Roundtable India is building 1.5 classroom on a daily basis for last 20 years. And we are growing like anything. And it's a young man's organization. So a person can join at 18 and has to mandatory retire at the age of 40, so that we remain a young organization with young thinking. Now coming to Vishy Anand, sir. Sir, thank you so much for gracing this event and giving Roundtable India this opportunity to have you with us. I know you don't need any introductions or anything because you are a legend, having won more than 5 grand championships. So, sir, we wish you all the best for this event, and thank you a lot for gracing us. Thank you.
Video, please.
It takes a powerful vision to become history, but it takes sheer hard work, determination, and extraordinary endeavors to become a legend. Vishwanath Anand is a legend. As India's first chess grandmaster and 5 times winner of the World Chess Championship, Anand has made his indispensable mark on India and the world. Vishy, the tiger from Madras, learned chess from his mother when he was only 6 years old and went on to win the Indian National Sub-Junior Championship with a perfect score of 9 wins in 9 games. Known for his rapid playing speed as a child, Anand earned the name of Lightning Kid in the 1980s, and by the time he turned 14, he was a known name in the Indian households already. As the youngest national champion at the age of 16, he became the first Asian to win the World Junior Championship in 1987. In 2017, at the age of 48, Anand outpaced more than 100 younger opponents and was acknowledged to be the world champion in rapid chess. He is the only sports person to be invited to the dinner hosted by the Indian PM Manmohan Singh for US President Barack Obama in 2010. Vishwanath Anand is one of the few globally respected Indian superachievers who is seen as the role model by the youth and inspires them to bring out their best in everything.
Thank you, Mukund. Thank you, Sahil, for a great introduction. It was a great mega event hosted by Roundtable India and League Circle. There have been winners who have been excitedly playing on Chess India based platform. Yes, I'm inviting here co-founder of Chess India base. He would like to have an interaction with Vishy sir and all the winners. Sagar, all up to you. Sagar Shah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sumit. Thank you, Roundtable India and Ladies Circle of Ladies Circle India. This was a great event where a lot of participants took part, and finally we had 6 winners who got a chance to play against Vidit today in a simultaneous exhibition. And it was a very nice event that was held, and it gives me great pleasure that these 6 players also today have a chance to ask question to the 5-time world champion and one of the greatest chess players of not just India but the entire world, Vishy Anand. So I would ask the first person here, Ilam Parthi, who was the winner of the under 14 section. Ilam Parthi, if you can ask your question to Vishy Anand and he would respond to it. If you can unmute Ilam Parthi, that would be great.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Ilam Parthi, you can ask your question.
Sir, do we need to have a fixed routine to practice or practice randomly like solving tactics, reading books and playing games?
You don't need a fixed routine. At least in my opinion and my experience, that isn't necessary. You should just follow what you want to do. If you feel like solving puzzles, do that. You want to work on openings, do that. You want to look at a game, do that. You want to take a break from chess, do that. Go back, come back, go back, come back. As long as you get a little bit of work done and you play a little bit, you'll be getting better.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anand, for that answer. Let's go to the next question. This is by the second place winner of the same event, and that is Vivan Shah, who is just 8 years old. If Vivan Vishal Shah can be unmuted, he can ask a question to Vishy.
Vivan, please unmute.
Vivan, you need to unmute yourself to ask a question.
Vivan, please click on the unmute.
Okay, if Vivan is not able to unmute, we can come to him next.
Yeah, please.
Okay, let's go to under 19 winner, who is a girl player. Her name is WFM Bomini Monica Akshaya. She is a very talented player, rated 2029. Akshaya Bomini, if you can ask your question to Vishy Anand. You need to unmute Monica Akshaya. Is Monica here? She was here in this call.
Monica, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, just I got
Okay,
the
fantastic.
unmute
Yeah.
chance. Hello, sir. Good evening.
Hello, Monica, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, sir. Yeah, so my question is usually for chess players there'll be two mindsets. Like one is like to take chess as life and we must win something, and another is like just enjoy whatever it be, maybe the result. But in both cases they have defects. Like by taking it too stress is like very weak, and too taking it too careless is also not very good. But in India mostly the first mindset is like quite common, taking it too stress because of parents and society, and if we don't win then it's really very like we will get scoldings from our parents and everything. So how do you used to manage when in during your initial stage of chess career, sir? And about the present situation, if you have any changes, how did you come up with that?
Okay, very nice question. First of all, it's something we all go through, and certainly it's not like I had a magic formula. I would try one thing, try another, and yeah, you come out of it. It's hard, and I see it now also as a parent, but before I experienced it from the other side, I think you cannot be without stress. You can't play for fun. That makes no sense in my opinion. I mean, as phrased like that, it has to mean something and you're trying, otherwise there is no point. But you need to get this balance. How do you stop yourself from it becoming an obsession or it affecting you? I mean, usually signs are if you're tense the whole night when you're sleeping, you're fidgety, you snap at people before the game. These are not healthy signs. On the other hand, a certain amount of pressure is good because we all perform better and you have to push yourself a bit. I think always you try to make sure you don't go too far down one direction or the other. So for me, fun is also when I make a mistake, I lose a game, then I go home, I try to understand what happened. And then fun is coming back to the next game and not making that mistake. So improvement is also fun. Working is fun. These things, as long as there's some kind of balance, it's okay. And of course, my mother put pressure on me too, and she was angry when I lost the same game 2-3 times, and it's all normal. But eventually, we got into an arrangement where she understood that I was quite keen on improving, and then she pulled back. And I think that's the ideal balance.
Thank you.
Monica, that was a very good question. Let's go to the next one. That is Anjaneya Fatak, who finished second in the under 19 section. Anjaneya is rated 1769. Anjaneya, your question for Vishy Anand.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes.
Hello, Anand sir. I'm a big fan. First of all, I always wanted to talk to you whenever I was a kid, and it is only because of you that I've started playing chess. And there is a very nice reason for that, because my mother is also born on 11 December 1969.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay. That is coincidence. Okay, good.
And that's why she thought that I should be able to play some chess, and that's why she and my father started playing chess, and then I also got between, and we three were kind of playing against each other. Then after I was born, 10 years later, Akhil was born, and he was born on 9th April, and that's my father's birthday.
Okay, wonderful story. That is nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
And we found out, and we tried to find out everywhere what is your Aruna ma'am's birthday, and we didn't find it anywhere. My birthday is on 8th June. So what's her birthday on?
Well, at least the month coincides. 30th June. So the only one that missed.
Okay.
How old are you, may I ask?
I'm 19 years old.
19, okay, good.
Okay. Yes, so I wanted to ask that in this lockdown now, we are not able to practice practical games like 4 hours games, and that will surely make an effect when we will enter the tournament. So what practice should we do right now so that it won't affect us in the main tournaments?
It's a very hard question to give an answer to, because I think there's a limit to how much we can prepare for some future event. I mean, if tournaments resume, let's say next October, is there a big disadvantage to starting in December now or January? I can't really tell. There's also a thing called too much preparation. It's not natural, and we don't normally have an experience like this year. So my suggestion, what I've been doing a little bit myself, is this is a good chance to learn things you would never have bothered learning otherwise, or never have found time for. Those sort of things are nice. You can practice something, but just to keep working and training like you used to do before, it becomes a bit meaningless, because you don't get to try it. And if it's held too long, I don't know how effective that is. But by all means, keep in touch with the game and keep following stuff and doing mixture new things. But there's also, I think, a chance to try some new routines.
Do you think a lot of opening preparation will help? Like if tournaments resume on March till December, we just prepare openings only, and after that we try on with middle game, end game, and tactics.
It might be a very good chance to learn some opening you never tried before, or something you didn't have, because there was a lot of work and it was not practical to do it before your tournament. This is a nice chance to incorporate that. But if you keep on working on what you already know, I don't know if whether that much work is possible. But definitely, if you follow the recent trends and all sorts of ideas attract you and you try to get to know it a little bit better, do that. Remember to rehearse it though, because by January you shouldn't have forgotten what you worked on in December and all that. So rehearse it a bit and mix and match it. There's also a chance, or at least we have to take it like a chance to change our routines. It cannot be like normal, because this is not normal, going on studying without an exam or a tournament doesn't feel natural, at least to me.
Yes. So thank you for speaking to me. It's my dream come true now.
Thank you. So every member in my family is, and every member in your family is at least born in the same month. So.
Yes.
That was a fantastic coincidence. Moving on to the
Thank you.
next one, Arunav Bhattacharji. He is rated 1857 and he won the open section with 7 out of 9. So Arunava Bhattacharji, you may ask your question to Vishy Anand.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I wanted to understand the role of intuition in chess. So what happens is many times we make moves by gut feeling or intuition, and then sometimes it backfires as well. So that judgment, like when calculation should be given more precedence to intuition, how to develop that? I wanted to know this.
Okay. First of all, congratulations. And
Thank you, sir.
second, okay, my feeling is that intuition is just work that we forgot we have done. So what feels like an idea popping out of nowhere, actually it doesn't pop out of nowhere. Somewhere we have seen something similar, we draw lessons back and forth, and that is in fact the kind of beauty of the human brain, that it draws these connections. You should see for yourself how it's working out. I would say gambling is bad, intuition is good. So the feeling is sometimes at the board, you'll tell yourself, this move feels right, I just want to play it, let me trust my intuition. But if the move just turns out to be a blunder, or it only works if your opponent plays badly, that kind of thing, then you're gambling, you're not actually using your intuition. Whereas if you are thinking a little bit and you feel uncomfortable about some move, you try to calculate hard, but you feel uncomfortable though the line works for you, but you feel that it shouldn't work. And on the other side, some line which isn't working, but you prefer it. I think that intuition is more valuable, because that is actually your brain. Okay, everybody, we run into this limit, depth, but sometimes the guesses are good. And that I think you can try to utilize. But again, you just have to see your games and see what your pattern is. The thing is, there we are very emotional at the board. Sometimes we are very concentrated and moves pop into our head. That's intuition. But sometimes we are feeling lazy and the brain is looking for an excuse to stop. And so you have to understand your own patterns and go with that. Same with me. I mean, I would say by the time I was in my mid-30s, I knew which instinct to trust and which not to trust so much. And I also would work on my hunches. Like if there are a couple of hunches that I had at the board, I'd go back home, check it, and think, maybe I can use it in the future. So it's a nice tool to have, but it's not a substitute for working or hard work.
Thank you, sir.
That was a great answer from, one of the best players in the world. You got the answer of what is the difference between intuition and calculation. Amazing. Next up is Karthikeyan Jayaprakasam, who finished second in the open section with 6 out of 9. His rating is 1860. Karthikeyan, if you are there, can you unmute yourself and ask the question?
Sir, good evening, sir. Sir, I have in positional play, strategy, and tactics. Then, what are the books I should refer for learning these things? That is the question.
Okay, again, congrats on your second place. And you can look at books, game collections of players who have a similar style to you. That way you'll find the kind of positions that you have doubts about. You can see what they say, you compare, and then you can use their games as solving exercises. You think for yourself, you think, what would I play here? And then you see what they think, and then read their explanation, because normally they'll be putting a detailed explanation of why they chose this or that. That's one thing. Another thing is in positions where you want to understand the strategy better, play with some friends and then analyze these games. That's also good. I find this more helpful than general strategical tips, because then it's harder to apply practically. But you can also see some books by, people coaches who specialize in this kind of work. So for instance, I found Dvoretsky and Yusupov quite realistic. And it's always, how much of what they say do you recognize yourself, and that's the key. Recently, I think Gelfand published some very, very good books, collections of his, and many of them hint at these areas. But they also, strategy is really about decision making. Finally, what decision you take, what move do you make, and he addresses that. That's very nice. When I was young, we grew up with this book by Kotov. But afterwards, I realized this is that book, for instance, was a bit unrealistic. It would literally say, when I'm at the board, I will stop now and make my 6 candidate moves, and then I will check the 6 candidate moves and that kind of thing. I think those kinds of books are not helpful because that amount of time and that situation will occur once or twice in a game, but many decisions you'll have to take in a more practical, fast-paced manner.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. I think there was one boy who couldn't unmute himself. His name on Zoom is Vishal Shah. The boy's name is Vivan Shah. He finished second in under 14 and he scored 6.5. So Vishal Shah, if he can be unmuted.
Vivansa, please click on unmute. No, sir, he's not able.
He's not here? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, just.
Is he there?
Yes, he's there.
Okay.
Please unmute, Vihan.
Vihan, if you can hear this, then on the bottom left is the unmute button. If you can just click on it.
No, he also received the pop-up. Just click on the OK. No, sir, please go ahead. He can't.
Okay, so that was all the questions. Thank you, Vishy, so much for all the answers. And I would give it back to Sumit for taking this meeting forward. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sagar, very much. Thank you, Vishy sir, for your presence. It's really privilege. All the congratulations to all the winners who participated. And I'm sure with Anand sir giving the guidance, it will be really helpful further. Sir, audience are here really excited to listen to you. And we are privileged to have you on this platform. The first question here we start with, sir. So you started playing chess at age of 6. And at age of 14, you were world sub-juniorship champion. And at age of 18, you were grandmaster. Sir, at this young age, the people are not able to find the purpose of their life. And you're the world celebrity with the grandmaster title. So please tell us about your initial chess days.
About my?
Initial chess days, how it started,
Right.
it started like.
Well, so I was about 6 and I learned how to play from my mother. Then, I'm thinking like my mother now. She probably in the beginning didn't know whether this was a one-day thing or whether I was going to stay with chess. But then after a couple of months, I think my parents and my elder siblings saw that I was really into the game. So they put me in a chess club. And pretty soon I got my first chess book, which again, they happened to find in a bookstore. It was a very different time. And so I started going to the chess club, playing regularly. When my father was posted in the Philippines for a year, I was playing regularly there before coming back. And I continued going to the club. I would go every Monday, every Thursday, every second Saturday, and every Sunday to the club and just play blitz the whole day long. And of course, in the weekdays, the club was only open in the evening, but on Sundays, we started at 11 in the morning till 7 in the evening. And literally, I would finish all my homework on Saturday so that I could go to the club and play a lot. And this was my initial chess growth, which was just playing a lot of chess. But it was also the healthiest in a way because you understand the positions much better if you have had them 100 times than if you read it in a book. If you read something in a book and afterwards you try to put it on the board and solve it without somebody telling you, you find that again and again you have the approximate ideas, but you don't know when to apply them. Whereas practice in that sense is very healthy. So I was then playing like a reasonably strong club player. And I had my break. I was finishing like third or fourth in the national sub-junior, then something less than that in the national junior, and this back and forth. And then in 1983, I had my breakthrough year, which is the school holidays had just started, April. And then I won a tournament in the Tal Chess Club with 100% score. So the same tournament which I'd been playing for many, many years, I suddenly beat everyone. And okay, it was a little bit of a surprise. You think, well, it's an accident, it happened, nice. Then I went to Bombay for a national team championship, and I won the top board prize there. And it really felt like, well, at that point, it didn't feel like I had gotten stronger. It felt like everybody else got weaker, but I cannot explain why. And then because I won that, I had to change my program. I was originally supposed to go back to Chennai, but I went on to Ahmedabad for the National B. Then I qualified for the National A. So this was my breakthrough thing. And afterwards, because of these tournaments, when I came back and I started playing the sub-junior and junior again, everybody was very scared of me. And, it's just everything had changed. I won the national sub-junior. Well, you have the picture there, October that year. And then later I won the national junior in Goa, also in Goa, but that was early 84. And I think this is sometime in October. Anyway, so then I won the national junior, and then all doors opened to me. I could represent India, then I World Sub-Junior, World Junior, Asian Sub-Junior, Asian Junior. And also because I was in the national team, I could go to the Lloyds Bank and all sorts of Asian events, men's events, which happened and things like that. So really a breakthrough period for me. And at that point, there was a race between Praveen Tipse, Divyendu Barua, myself, Devi Prasad, to become the first Grandmaster. So we were all competing neck and neck for 1.5 years. And then suddenly, I won the World Junior. I didn't really expect to win. Nothing indicated that I was going to win, because before the tournament, I was only ranked third in that tournament. And there were already 2 Grandmasters in that tournament, Ivan Sokolov and Simon Agdestein. But I won that tournament, and the end of that year, I became a Grandmaster. So again and again, this period of you keep working without, and I think this also addresses the earlier question. You keep working for a while, even if the success doesn't come at first. And then it came later. And then again, for the next goal, it took me some time. And then again, that one came. And like this, I was 18 and I had to start thinking about a new goal. Initially, I had a problem because when I first became a Grandmaster, I started having bad results. And I think the problem was that when I went to a tournament, I didn't know what I was doing there. Before, when I went to a tournament, I knew what the Grandmaster norm was, so I aimed for it. Now I was kind of slightly goalless, but eventually that passed and I started playing for the world title.
Wow, what a great motivational story, sir, for us. So, but I was doing research on you. You were playing tennis as well at that time. So used to play tennis and chess both. How used to manage both the sports and as well as studies together? All the students are listening here are very excited to know about it.
Yes, my father was in the railways, so I used to go to the railway club where we could play tennis. I used to play badminton as well, table tennis, swimming, things like that. And I was interested in tennis. I did want to play, and eventually my parents thought, why not put him in coaching there? But this coaching was at 5:30 in the morning. So literally I had to wake up at 5, run to this place, do my coaching there. And then, and I think I just got angry because he was more. So we'd reach there at 5:30 and then all the juniors would be asked to run around the court. And each player would only get 5 minutes of time with the coach where he would, something to your forehand, something to your backhand. And then the rest of the time you were supposed to run around. And I thought this was not a very good deal. Also, I simply didn't get as good in tennis as I was in chess, and maybe chess just attracted me more. So over time, I played tennis really for fun. I played tennis because I remember playing tennis, but in chess, I had real goals. I really wanted to break through into this and that, and I was competing in tournaments. Tennis, I don't think I ever really competed in a tournament.
Oh, great, sir. So it's really true that after becoming one of the world champion, you played a match against your mother and you lost it. Is it really true?
Well, no, that not in that way, but I was already one of the best juniors in the country, and I played a match against her when we were on a holiday. And I took some liberties because I was a bit cocky, and I thought I can get away with some rubbish, and I was doing some very silly setup, and then suddenly I got into trouble and I didn't know how to get out of it. So that's true, but that I was still a junior at that point. That was not anywhere near. Because again, my mother was quite a good chess player to the extent that she used to play with her family and so on. But she never went to a chess club. She never really read a chess book, and so on. So there were limits to how much time she could spend in the game also. But still, yeah, she was able to beat me even when I was one of the best juniors once. And like I said, when I was taking a lot of liberties in the position.
Yeah, great, sir. Sir, it's like, the perception of the chess is that, it's all a mind game. But you have been very, very particular about your fitness. Is it something essential for the chess or it's your personal choice?
It's essential for chess. It's essential for life. I mean, I think that whatever your job is, if you think you don't need fitness, then you're going to suffer. And the same thing in the other direction. If you think your job is, let's say, in a physical sport or involves a lot of running around and you don't need to keep your brain engaged, that is also a terrible mistake. I think you need to find this good balance. But it's true that once upon a time, definitely in the 80s and 70s and 80s, chess players were not anywhere as fit as they are today. In those days, there were no computers. There was not a lot of stuff to remember. Your experience was much more valuable, and you could get away with not being able to concentrate fully and not being able to remember your analysis and all. So you could have a more intelligent lifestyle. Now that's almost impossible. I mean, if you go out, you have a night on the town or something, and you come back the next day, you're going to have a very tough thing. And in fact, very few chess players do this. The only time they do it is when they have a bad loss and they need to blow off steam. So when something goes terribly wrong, that day you should not do chess. Actually, it's better to be as far away as possible so that you recover and play the next game. I think only then it's permitted. But I can't even think of a top player who doesn't do some sort of physical training.
Well, that's a great learning, sir. I'm sure the chess lovers here are going to listen this and equally maintain the physical fitness and give that imperativeness as well for physical fitness. So moving ahead, your better half, Arunaji, has played a very vital role in your successful journey, and she has been playing a very crucial contribution. Would you like to say, highlight some of the memories which she played an important role in this journey?
Well, when we got married, she was quite new to the game. And in fact, our honeymoon was at the Dortmund chess tournament because I had already committed to the tournament. And so right away after the wedding, we flew there and I played in this tournament. And at that point, she was traveling with me everywhere to every tournament. So we would always go together and come back together. And this meant that over time, she got a very good idea of, looking inside my head, knowing what's going on. And then we came to this arrangement that she could start handling my public relations and, publicity related stuff because she used to work in advertising. And that's how it started. And then slowly she started handling some of my correspondence, some of the other things. Eventually, we realized this arrangement is working very well because I was able to spend all my time thinking only of the game. And she was not distracted by the game at all. So she could actually give the full attention other matters needed. And we evolved to that kind of relationship. And it's been a huge help. I mean, one of the advantages of having a wife as a manager is that there are so many things you don't have to explain. You know, it's just both sides understand it. And especially during the periods when I had all these matches, this was incredibly helpful because I didn't have to spend 1 minute negotiating with FIDE or with anyone else. I just focused on my game. And to this day, she does almost everything else around chess, and I focus on the game. And that's been a big help.
Sir, you know, this one incident, like people say that you're so much engrossed in the chess that you forgot your anniversary date. And this is what they say, like, this is a boomsday. How you managed to escape that, Arunaji?
I have had no end of embarrassing moments about anniversary and all, but I don't recall forgetting her anniversary or her birthday, especially if you remember one, you remember the other because they come 3 days apart. So we were married June 27th and her birthday is on June 30th. So I was lucky that if you got one, I got the next one as well. And usually some family member would call and then you remember. No, I don't remember forgetting her anniversary, but I have often been, let's say, unattentive. And yeah, I guess normal married life.
I'm sure all married person listening here, how to evade the problem we know from Anand sir. Sir, moving ahead, sports is known as an adrenaline gush, happiness or agony. In cricket, generally we see that, you know, the batsman getting out and throwing the bat away. In tennis, we see the players after losing smack the racket against the bench. We have seen you in any kind of emotions after losing or winning. How you manage or control your emotions even in this kind of situations?
I think it's just training. I mean, in chess, you're just used to this convention that you can't lose your temper very easily because during the game, it's actually forbidden to talk or communicate in any way. And we get into the habit of not doing that. So, but, you know, you just have to stand near a player outside the tournament hall. And when they come out, you'll hear all the 4-letter words in every language. It's the same emotion. It's just you have to let it out in the right thing. And I have come back to my room and thrown the pen across the room and broken this or that. And it's normal. I mean, there are days you're very, very frustrated yourself. But you actually cannot do this in the hall. It's very hard to break a piece without disturbing the other boards and things like that. So I think in sports where you can smash your racket or so on, they're kind of lucky. But even them, I would, well, after Djokovic's experience, I think it's now better to smash your racket than to hit the ball across because that other one can injure someone. But smashing a racket, you know, you're okay.
Yeah, that's true, sir. So thanks for guiding. I'm sure the students here listening and audience listening here, they should understand how to control the emotions and after losing as well. Thanks for guiding us so well. Sir, you are a very blessed personality, but at the same time, you carry a sobriquet, the lightning kid, which means very aggressive. Is it something natural or you evolve after so many games of chess?
No, this is very natural. Lightning kid simply refers to the fact that I like to make my moves instantly. And in fact, the faster forms of the game used to be called blitz or lightning. And that's where the name comes from. It's just that when I see a move, I get excited and I want to play it at once. And it actually doesn't have much to do with bad temper or losing control. It's more a thing of, you know, I see the move and I really want to find out what my opponent has against it. And I think it's a good move. It's just the way I think. I can be quite, hasty or intuitive, whichever you want to use. And that's the explanation.
lightning kid. We would like to have a lightning round of questions with you. So it's like, a rapid round, some to know more about you in personal side as well. So there are two options to play, like black or white. Which is your preference?
Mostly black, but these days more and more white.
So next, defense or attack?
Attack.
Kasparov or Carlsen?
Kasparov.
Great. Toughest opponent of your career?
Difficult to pick one out. Mostly, I guess, a computer.
Great. Best foreign destination?
To play chess or?
Okay.
Yeah, well, to play chess, I think Russia is still the place where I have the most, wonderful memories of chess tournaments.
Great. So, just asking a question between, we know that you are a vegetarian and you have been traveling across the world for playing chess. Is manage the food at that time? You have been roaming around, like, in spite of being vegetarian, you have been managing the food as well. So how you did that, sir? Any days where you have to remain famished?
I'm not vegetarian actually. Even though there are, I don't eat everything, so there are some restrictions anyway. So the problem is similar. I just got good at finding, what I can eat and and I just got good at finding it and knowing where to get it. When I was young, it was very hard because you'd go to a lot of places where literally they had no idea what. In fact, they just seemed to have no idea what other countries could be eating. So they had something and that's all they could give you. But over time, it became easier and easier. Maybe as more and more people traveled and so on, this happened slowly. And I got good at finding, you can always go to Italian restaurants or Greek restaurants or Middle Eastern ones and find lots of vegetarian food. Even Asian restaurants will have some options. So, if you know where to look, you have no real problem.
That's great, sir. So, Tamil or English?
Tamil.
Or English, which you would prefer to speak?
Yeah, Tamil.
Tamil. Wow, great. So, your favorite coach?
Let's say Obi Lava.
Great. Sir, in the coach, so this was a complete rapid round. Thanks for answering, sir, patiently. Sir, continuing with the coach question only, sir, sports like cricket, football, their coach plays a very vital role. You are an individual player and a lot of things is depending on your mind game. What is the coach imperative in chess as well, like other games?
First of all, the coach's main job is to find the things that you don't see about yourself. I mean, we all have some blind spots and there are things about our game that we're not able to see, but somebody else can see it immediately and say, this can be improved or you're doing very well, whatever. And that's one big support. Quite often a coach is not giving you something you don't have, but is helping you with material that you could get around to doing if you had lots of time, but it allows you to say, okay, you deal with this, I deal with this, and it's more efficient to do that. And a coach helps you keep track of all the developments. But eventually a coach is someone who just gets to know you very well. So a coach has to be a friend. Someone who knows you so well that you don't have to keep explaining everything, and they know what to give you, when to give it to you. And really in the end, it's just a good friend.
So, but coach is something like, before playing cricket, the coach has a, uniformity, they discuss with the team. Is it something it happens before playing any game, like you all discuss something on the strategy and then you go inside the game?
Yes, of course. I mean, you'll always have to have some strategy. Are you playing X or Y, and what can you aim for? What are you trying to do? What are you good at that you can use against that opponent or the other? And so it's very simple. The role is not that different in chess.
Okay. Sir, has it happened, in other sports we find sometimes the coach has been coached by other opponents. Has it happened sometime with you? Like, your coach has gone to another opponent and your mind, your strategy is with him, with the opponent.
Well, that doesn't happen, but of course, coaches also have to earn a living, and sometimes they switch the person they work with. I mean, usually the decent thing is to have a cooling off period, and for a while you will have some understanding that I will not show any of this material for so many months, and then only after it becomes widely known, I will share it, or I would not show this to your next opponent. Or sometimes, I'm sorry, I'm going to work for the other guy. He's getting me a better deal, or it's more convenient, but I will not help him against you. There are all sorts of versions of arrangements you reach. But it's quite normal that coaches switch jobs or players.
Great, sir. Sir, in chess, you have explained in your book, Mind Game, that there are two approaches. One is vertical, the second one is horizontal. So the first question is, which is your preference, or you prefer to have a combination of both?
I prefer a combination of both, but broadly speaking, I think most people will find that it's better to be broad than deep. So you want to be able to do a lot of things reasonably well rather than be a super specialist in one thing. And especially in the last 10 or 15 years, you cannot be a super specialist because no matter how much expertise you have, the computer is always going to be stronger. And so in order for people not to be able to keep on ambushing you, you will just have to learn to move around a little bit. So in chess, we're tending heavily in that direction. But at the same time, you should not just be dabbling in everything. It's nice if there's one opening you can really depend on, or one style you can really depend on, your strongest style, then by all means specialize in that, but keep some options open.
Great, sir. Thank you very much. Sir, you are a celebrity and you are always in the limelight, sir. And you don't have to care the success of ladder. While doing that, I'm sure many celebrities go through certain controversies, but you have been always managed to evade from this. Can you explain how you were able to manage in this?
In my case, it's simply a decision not to stick your nose into everything. I mean, it's very easy to go down this thing of supporting one person or supporting another easily. But one of the things I find that it's very easy to get involved in a conflict, but it's very, the conflict almost never gets solved. I mean, you think you're making a difference and that your participation can make a difference, but it gets bogged down very quickly. And then, let's put it this way, it's much easier to make enemies than to make friends. So, and then it becomes a kind of discipline. I mean, there are several experiences in my life, which I talk about in some detail in Mindmaster as well, which convinced me that I shouldn't, I should focus on playing and not politics or organization or these kinds of things. And for a very specific reason, and I mentioned this in the book. In Prague, for instance, I thought I had excellent relations with everyone seemed to like me, but somehow, because my results had suffered recently, I was left out of all the future plans of this reunification committee. And then I realized, well, if your level drops, nothing else counts for anything. It's only your level of chess that determines your opportunities and your way forward. And then it's a kind of cynical decision, but you make it, that you will stick to playing chess well, and you'll try to have an impact that way. And maybe after that point, it became easier and easier. I mean, by the third or fourth time, you don't have this decision, because of course there are many things you want to speak out and say this is wrong or right. But I generally am skeptical that alone will solve anything.
Great, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, generally we have observed children of celebrity follow the footprints of their parents. Are we expecting Akhil to follow the same?
I don't know. I mean, he plays chess, but he has other interests as well. And so far, I don't see a preference. But I'm happy he enjoys playing chess, and he likes working on chess, but I don't know what he will do. In the end, I just feel it should be his choice and he should be happy with it. That's all.
Thank you, sir. So I'm sure, like, there's a thank you, sir, Vishy sir, answering all the questions patiently. It has been great learning and it has been great interaction. I'm sure there are some children who are very curious. We want to ask some questions to you, sir.
Sure.
The first questions, here we go. Sir, along with the homeworks or like the classwork, how to spare the time for the sports? The children are asking. This is a question from Shreya, 5th standard.
Yeah. My own attitude is nobody is going to spend all their time studying in the evening. That's just not realistic. And nobody should be studying chess all the time either. And that's not realistic as well. So I don't see why there is people say that if you play chess, will you have time for studies or vice versa? I think it should be possible to fit both activities in. Where the problem can arise is if you're in the habit of procrastinating, if you like to keep on putting off the work that you have to do, then you end up with no time for either. And I believe that you should have enough time to finish your schoolwork and then still study a little bit of chess. Don't study too much chess, because if your brain stops taking in information, then you can't force it to. And don't spend too much time on studies. But if you're balance it out. Okay, today I need to finish my studies, so let me forget about chess today. But then tomorrow or day after, I'll come back and look at this, and that's fine as well. You don't have to be super disciplined. It should come naturally. I don't see the conflict. In fact, I never had problems till already I was in the 9th or 10th standard, where I was one of the top juniors and I was traveling everywhere. Then, of course, it impacts your studies because you're not even in school. But it's only then I think you will have this problem.
Sir, here's another. Thank you, sir, for answering. Sir, here's another question, Samraj Pathulia. Some of your motivational childhood experience that encourage you to be better in the game.
I generally liked playing chess and I was very enthusiastic. I would keep going back to play more and more. My experience was whenever I had some failure, then, when your family is there to support you, or your friends tell you, don't worry, it gets better. Usually after that, when it does, then you understand that you should not obsess. So I think having a very supportive family was the main thing there.
Great, sir. So there's a very interesting question from Shivan Thakur. What has chess taught you in the life?
What has chess taught me?
Yeah, in the life.
I think it has taught me that just because you're good at one thing doesn't mean you'll be equally good at something else. And I have learned or realized that I'm much better at chess than many other things, and I should be less impulsive in other things. I mean, in chess, I can get away with a lot that I can't get away with in other areas. But that it is important to get better at something, and that you can observe your patterns and try to find out some mistakes and try to get better. Because again and again, we are creatures of habit. If left to our own devices, we will make the same mistakes again and again. So, and you should be objective. You should be able to see yourself as somebody else will see you. And if you can eliminate that bias and see yourself objectively, maybe that's the biggest lesson I've learned from chess.
Wow, great, sir. Thank you. Sir, here's one more question from Pritesh. Sir, what was the feeling when you did Mikhail Tal, the legend?
I was very excited. So I'll tell you where it happened. I mean, I grew up with him as one of my big examples. And then I met him in Brussels. And we were co-commentators. So the World Cup was happening in Brussels at that point. And the organizer was very nice to give me an invitation to come as a commentator. So for me, it's fantastic. I don't even have to play, and I can be in that tournament in all that glamour and so on. So I went to Brussels, and then Tal, a couple of days, was my co-commentator, and we would both have to suggest moves to the audience and discuss what is happening.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, that is really like a dream come true. I mean, first of all, you're a hero, and then you just get to discuss chess with him before an audience, interact with him. And one of the things I remember is even then, he was completely addicted to chess. He would, after finishing the commentary, he would go and play Blitz the whole evening. So, and anyone who asked, who walked by the bar and said, "Do you want to play a game?" he'd start playing. So that was his thing.
Sir, here like Aditya, he's asking, what is the average time it takes to move his move? Very curious to answer. Like, what is the average time you take?
Well, let's see. In general, we get an average of 3 minutes per move. And I usually have 30 minutes, 30 minutes left. So it's more than, no, sorry, I take less than 3 minutes per move on average. But this average is not a very good thing here because if you know your theory, you can make the first 20 moves very fast. And then some people will still get into time trouble and some people still won't. Maybe the important learning here is that at some point I understood that in some positions, it is, you just have to sit there and work through something, and you shouldn't be lazy or impulsive and say, well, intuition, this, that. You should sit and work at those moments and try to think, what does my opponent want? What do I want? And then work out the calculation, be disciplined about it and all that. So even though as I mentioned earlier, I used to play very fast, I learned also to slow down a little bit later. And maybe it's only then I experienced the real rise in my results. Equally, if you're thinking too much, you should learn to be a bit freer. So some balance again.
Sir, thank you very much, sir, answering all the questions. Here, any kids, like we generally have a habit, like 1 or 2 kids, the questions. So if someone wants to ask the question, can you lift up the hand?
Yeah, definitely. In fact, many have been writing to me privately, but I can't do it there.
Sir, all are curious to know from you.
Yeah, we can definitely take 2 or 3 questions. Shall I do it myself? Or?
Yeah, you can do it yourself, sir.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Okay. Yeah, they just asked the questions. Okay, good evening. Who is it?
So I'm Gaurang Bhagwe from Mumbai. So before asking you a question, I just want to tell you that I love the game you played against Lottier in 1997, especially your move h6.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, that is my favorite game. So
yes, and also, sir, your game versus Ivan Chuk in 1992, where you played the move Bishop c4.
Okay, yeah. Well,
sir,
I couldn't agree with you more on those 2 games. Thank you. Yeah.
Sir, so my question is, how you handle the pressure in final rounds or important tournaments?
I generally do much. I have won more tournaments where I didn't expect anything from the last round than when I had to do something. And most of my big tournament successes, I didn't need much more than a draw in the last round. I had already done the hard work before, and I didn't depend on the last round. Otherwise, where I had to win, I would guess I'm not, my results aren't particularly good in that kind of situation. I prefer getting the work out of the way before, or it dropping unexpectedly. So when I'm really not desperate for a result, then you play more freely. And for me, that has always worked better.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sure. Next question.
Vishy sir, you can select any, like your wish, whatever.
Okay, but there are like 20, 30, and of course I will.
One more last, whatever you feel. Okay.
Still one.
Yeah.
Okay. Avitik Gregorian is asking, what are classical games? Have you studied classical games? Okay, this is quite funny because generally classical games are older games. So when I grew up, some game of Capablanca or even going further back, Morphy, I would consider them the classics, the games that generations of chess players learned from and things like that. Of course, it has happened to me quite often recently that people tell me sir, I studied classical games. That's how I know your game against Ivanchuk in '94 or something. And then it's a little bit of a shock because you associate classical games with like Julius Caesar, and then suddenly they're talking of something more recent. But yes, classical games are just important games which show one thing very clearly and that you can learn from. Okay, then how to improve an endgame? You can only improve an endgame by studying endgames, because endgames, but not to just seek the moves that were made, but for thinking for yourself on every move, why you have to play this move or that. You think for yourself and then you compare the answer, and only then you'll understand. Endgames are in fact the hardest, because I can tell you one thing: most youngsters will learn the opening and middle game much better than they will learn they'll play the end game. Their weakness is almost always the end game. And for some reason, you remove, for every piece you remove, the chess game gets harder. And I don't know why that is, but that is a very big paradox. So that's something you just have to pay attention to, and you never stop. Even now I work on end games. Someone says, Ilam Parthi says, it's not using an engine. Should you use an engine? Use it a little bit, don't use it too much, but never use it only to check your answers, not to give you answers. Then somebody asked, do I recommend classical or rapid games? Play both. Don't be against rapid games, but classical games are where you really get to practice thinking deep and solving some hidden problems. There are quite a lot of games.
Yeah, there are quite a lot. All up to you. So there's a guy called Sammy. He's raising the hand. Sammy, the young kid here. I can see him.
Yeah.
Sammy and Shreya.
Okay, there's one funny question.
Yeah.
Dr. Nagpal Singh is asking if chess is considered a vital example in diplomatic relations. Have you been approached by any diplomatic agencies? No, not really. The big difference between chess and diplomatic relations is that in chess, the rules are known, and in diplomatic relations, you still have to agree the rules before you start the game every time. Then a couple of things have already been, I've answered other questions.
So, sir.
Okay, let me take one last question. And
one last question.
This up. Okay, this is a nice question. How do we find the spirit and theme of certain openings so we're guided by it beyond theory? Excellent question, actually. So in every position, and this also brings in that earlier question, how to use chess engines. So when you're playing an opening, then remember to study typical games from that opening till the end. Don't stop where white is better or black is better and then say, I will handle it. Because there are many positions where if you don't feel the right way of handling it, typically a specialist in an opening, long before he finds the correct answer, he will feel that something feels wrong and something feels right. And that you get only by studying it beyond theory. So you have to go further and further, study many examples. And the more examples, that's why I also say play a lot of games. Because the more examples you have, the easier it'll be to get that feeling of, in fact, people who specialize in an opening will also be very good in the endings which happen in that opening, because they will have faced it many times. So, you know, being a specialist in something means till the end.
Sir.
Okay, that's all the questions for now.
Yeah, sir. Thank you very much. I know to talk to you, there are endless questions. You are such a legend that everyone wants to ask you. There's a curiosity always and so much learning from you, sir. Thank you very much for answering all the questions so patiently. Sir, I would request now our tabler, Mr. Sachin Shah, to vote of thanks. Sachin Shah.
Anyway, by the way, well done to Roundtable India for having this excellent event, and thanks to all the participants for the very intelligent questions you had.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
On behalf of Roundtable India and Lady Circle India, I'd like to thank Grandmaster Vishwanathan Anand sir for sparing his time and sharing his invaluable experiences with us. It really means a lot and motivates a lot of us to play more. My 5-year-old kid, last 10-15 days, I've been talking every day on phone about chess. He started playing chess in last 10 days. So I don't know how infectious this is. And I'd like to thank ChessBase, Tabler Sumit Kabra from Bombay for helping us with his platform. All the students, players, all the viewers on all the platforms across. Tabler Akash Khaitan, Tabler Ankit Parikh from Ahmedabad, Tabler Mukund Khaitan, and the entire table and circle of Surat for bringing all this together. It was a wonderful event and a wonderfully spent evening where we got so much to learn from you, sir. And really humbled by your presence today. Thank you very much on behalf of all of us.
Thank you, Sachin. Thank you very much. I would like to, in end, also say thank you for all the sponsors of this event. इसके बाद हेम शिखर में जो आने वाली है एक ऐसी शख्सियत जिनको सब जानते हुए वो हमेशा सशक्त रही है और विजय रही है. यस, प्लीज स्टे ट्यून. आ रही है स्मृति ईरानी जी ऑन 29th November 5 p.m. Please stay tuned on Himshikar. In end, last, I would like for national anthem. I would like to end with national anthem. Again, everybody. Thank you, Vishy sir. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
HEMA Foundation, sign out.
Thank you, everyone, for being such wonderful audience and watching this entire episode of Vishy Anand on this meeting, which was organized by Roundtable India, and it was a very, very informative one. There were so many questions that were asked, and Anand gave such wonderful answers. In fact, some of them were so insightful. I hope you enjoyed them. You learned from it. It's always an amazing thing when you get to learn from such a legend, his experiences. And I enjoy it very much when, he was asked about why don't you get into some political situations? What is your opinion there? And Vishy had some such deep answers which are based on his experiences. And I think this is something that is so valuable. So I think I hope you all will go over this. If you have missed it at some point, check out Vishy's answer. And also, I would like to thank Vidit Gujrathi for playing this amazing simultaneous at the start, where he played against 6 players, scoring 5.5. It was a stream where we had India number 1, Vishy Anand, India number 3, Vidit Gujrathi, and so many people in the chat who have given such there were so many hearts there, so many of you who are listening to it. So I hope that to see you again in 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. We'll be here with evolution of Anish Giri, and I hope that you all will join in. It will be a fantastic one. I have prepared a lot just to show you guys all that thing that I have prepared. You can see here the PowerPoint and all of it. So please make sure that you will be here and that we all will be able to enjoy this. Mayur Gondalekar says, notice what he said. What's your opponent's plan? What is my plan? Same what GM Kramnik explained in yesterday's session. Well, Kramnik and Anand, both legends. So thank you all. See you soon. Bye bye. Take care.